So Pete Buttigieg has been having a little trouble with the press. Okay, he was asked a question by a reporter about why won't you let the press into your private fundraisers? We want to see what's going on. Now, Pete Buttigieg, our weasel, is not used to the press asking him tough questions, right? For the last while, he's been the darling of the press, right alongside Warren, and they haven't really gone after him in any capacity. And so this caught him a little off guard. Let's take a look.
Earlier today, you said you were open to having a conversation about opening your fundraisers, and that's a question that reporters have been asking for months now. So I'm wondering, when do you expect to actually have that conversation and give an answer on that?
Again, I don't have a timeline for you.
Well, as the candidate, can't you just direct your campaign to open those fundraisers?
What's it?
As the candidate, can't you just direct your campaign to open those fundraisers?
Yes.
And why haven't you done so?
What's that?
Why haven't you done so yet?
There are a lot of considerations, and I'm thinking about it.
Ask questions. Can you give us an example of those considerations?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, Nate.
Thanks. Thank you.
Now you can tell that he's very irritated. He's very irritated. He's pretending not to hear the question. He's like, huh? What? Yeah, okay. What? I want to move along because I don't like what you're asking me. He tensed up. He wasn't ready for that. And it is a normal question. It's perfectly fine. Why aren't you letting the press in? Even Joe Biden lets the press in. By the way, that's how they caught that line when he said nothing would fundamentally change. He was telling that to private donors. So it is good to have the press there so that we can catch their private position as well. Now, it's quite astounding, however, that we have to, the press has to beg Pete Buttigieg for this access. I mean, it is quite shady, It is quite shady indeed. And what can I say, man? This guy started out as a progressive. He started out as someone who supports Medicare for all, who's against corporate money. But then look at him, man. As the election has gone by, he's completely changed. We have a new weasel on our hands. After Donald Trump, Mr. Buttigieg right here is the biggest recipient of money from the healthcare industry. Would you look at that? Very funny. Now we know why he changed his position on Medicare for all and why he no longer supports it, because that wouldn't please his donors. That wouldn't please his buddies that are giving him those dollar bills and wads of cash up his booty hole, up Buttigieg. So he has to be a snake now. He can't help it. He's been corrupted. He can't help it, man. He is beholden to his donors. And when he's giving private fundraisers, he doesn't want people to see that. He doesn't want them to catch his two-faced positions. He doesn't want to show that to the press, because if people see that, it's not a good look for him. He's trying to appease progressives and he's trying to appease centrists at the same time, right? That's the game that he's trying to play. He's trying to come across as a progressive. And so this puts him in a bit of a pickle when he's asked up front. And he was asked about this again. He was asked again. Would you stop taking corporate money? Would you stop taking donations from private donors? Let's take a look at that clip as well.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. A flat out no. He doesn't hold back. I mean, should we give him props for being honest? Kind of the bare minimum, if you're running for president, although not that common, we will admit. But yeah, I mean, you can tell from his response, man, he doesn't care. He's not going to stop taking that corporate cash. He has the biggest amount of billionaire donors. Like we just said, he's also the biggest recipient of cash from the healthcare industry right after Donald Trump. This guy can't be trusted, man. He can't be trusted. And in regards to the bundlers, okay, so the bundlers are the people who go and collect bundles of checks from private donors and then present them to whoever's running, to the candidate, in an attempt to curry favor with them. Now, Pete Buttigieg announced who these bundlers were for his candidacy back in April. And he hasn't updated that list since. He likes to be a little transparent, just enough to appear so, but then he lets it drop. Now, however, given the backlash on Twitter, given the backlash in general over his response, his campaign announced a 180. So now he will be allowing the press into his private fundraisers, and he will be updating his bundler list. Would you look at that? Now, you might be saying, well, what's wrong with that? He's being transparent now. He's being honest. That's great. No, it's not. Okay. I don't care to know who his bundlers are, and I don't care to listen to what he has to say in his private fundraisers, because he shouldn't be doing private fundraisers or having bundlers in the first place. Do you understand? He shouldn't be taking corporate money and private donations from billionaires in the first place. It makes absolutely no difference if the money is coming from Donald Duck or Danny DeVito. Okay? Danny DeVito's cool though. He's with Bernie Sanders. But you get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? This is irrelevant. We don't care what you're saying, because we know you're a snake already. We know that you flip-flopped on Medicare for all. We know that you don't support free college. You're not a progressive, man. We're not interested in you because of your terrible policies, okay? And because you take corporate cash. So it doesn't matter what you're saying in the private fundraisers, although of course it does matter because we want to know. But the point is, he shouldn't be holding them in the first place. He shouldn't be holding private fundraisers. And he shouldn't be taking corporate money. And he shouldn't be having bundlers. Can't be trusted. Because at the end of the day, he will be beholden to his private donors as opposed to the people. Where's the proof? Case in point. As soon as he started running and taking money from the healthcare industry, he changed his position on Medicare for all. He reversed it. So this guy can't be trusted, man. He is completely abhorrent, and I can't wait till he drops out. I really can't. He really gets on my nerves for some reason. He's just completely disingenuous, and it's very transparent for me at least, and that's why it annoys me. So I'm looking forward to him dropping out and us being left to have a real debate with Bernie Sanders, Warren, and Biden, and hopefully, you know, Bernie Sanders comes out on top. There you go. You can't trust Pete Buttigieg alone. You just can't.